What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is StoneMountain64 and welcome to another view from the mountain. Today, that's right, I'm going to be talking about some Battlefield 4. A lot of people have been asking me, Stone, why are you playing so much Call of Duty? You've been asking me, what do I think about Battlefield 4, things like that. And in particular in this video, I'm going to be more talking specifically about the Xbox 360. And I guess it also translates over to the PlayStation 3, essentially the current gen kind of consoles, because I've been having a lot of trouble with it, and right now I've been kind of keeping my mindset as this is kind of like a beta, and then when we get the Xbox One, that's going to be the full version. That's what I'm really hoping for, because I got some problems with it. Now, I do really enjoy the game when I'm actually in the lobbies, and I do get everything working. I get the squad members in there, or playing with some buddies, or you guys. It's a lot of fun for a game, but there's a lot of problems actually getting into the lobbies, and there's a lot of problems with my videos that I make, which is just a huge problem, and it creates so many just delays for me. The first thing is that they don't have team chat. You have no idea how disappointed I was when I went in and I couldn't do it. I tried it out in the beta, didn't have it, and I did a commentary about it saying I hope that it was in Battlefield 4 in the full version, and it wasn't. Essentially, they broke it up so they're in squads only, and so sometimes I'll go into lobbies, but the biggest problem is that you can't search for actual lobbies. Like, essentially what I used to do is I would go into Battlefield 3 and I would search Mike, because you could search by the actual name. People would buy actual lobbies, title it Mike only servers, and then I could just search Mike and find lobbies, which, it wasn't 100%, maybe 20% actually had mics in the lobbies, but I would go into those, and that was where I could find people with microphones, especially on team chat. There's like 10 people or whatever that I could actually possibly talk to. That's a lot of opportunity. Well, now I have to choose one out of 1,000, 3,000, I don't know how many servers there are that are just random, made by Battlefield to get an actual lobby with microphones, and I'll go into all the different squads. It is just impossible to actually find people with microphones, especially ones that will actually react, and then when I do, I've got to actually live, so it's very difficult, and that creates a lot of problems. That's why I've been going back to Battlefield 3, so I really don't know how they can improve that going forward to the Xbox One, but talking a little bit more about some other aspects of it is, first off, kind of finding lobbies, I guess, in another sense, which is just to play in general, just to actually enjoy the game. Almost every time I join a lobby, it just crashes on me. My Xbox freezes and it shuts down. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'll finally get into a lobby, and then I'm waiting to go into the next lobby, and it'll just freeze again and shut down. Now, we had problems with this in Battlefield 3. Another thing that I would be hoping it would fix in Battlefield 4, and it's even worse in Battlefield 4, and I think that's because, again, it's kind of like, in my opinion, a beta version on the Xbox 360. We don't have the full version yet of the game. They're still trying this out and giving us underperforming things, especially with, like, the graphics, man. Oh, I watched some PC gameplay, and it's just like, no, why can't I have those graphics? It's so amazing on PC, so it's just difficult for me to kind of deal with that. The gameplay-wise, though, it's very fun. The only thing that I hate keep bagging on it, but this is just how I really feel about it. I'm not censoring it, guys. Another thing, though, is, a lot of people don't like it, comparing it to Call of Duty, but when you play Call of Duty and you play Battlefield just straight up, it's a lot easier to move, it's a lot easier to interact, you don't get caught on quite as many things, even though you still do in Call of Duty. You can move around much easier. It just seems like the response time is much better. When I'm playing Battlefield, it's a slower response time. And now this is something that I kind of got used to in Battlefield 3. I had to adjust to it. But playing in Battlefield 4, this was something I was so hoping that they would fix, that they would improve on, but it didn't end up happening. That's not the end of the gameplay, though, because there's such a huge variety of things to do. And I want to talk about some of the positive things and some of the things that I've been enjoying about the system. One is that they made this game a lot more difficult. I don't know about if you guys think the same thing, but I feel like they've made this game a lot more difficult. First off is managing the ammo. This is something that when I go back to playing COD, I'm always like much more sensitive with my reloading, and I notice I've been paying attention with this a lot more. But when you reload, you lose your ammo. So at first I was actually live streaming some Battlefield 4 when it first came out, which I've been having a lot of problems with lately. I'm actually going to try and figure out what's wrong with it so I can start streaming again. I know I've been getting a ton of requests for that. But when you reload, even if you just shoot a couple bullets out, it's just like real life, where if you throw your magazine away, those 20 bullets that are left in your magazine, they're gone. So you see me actually managing it pretty well in this video, where if I still have 20 rounds left, I'll keep it you know, in my pocket. Now, this kind of gets difficult because if you only have 10 rounds left in your gun, and you come up against 2 people, you're not going to be able... I mean, you could get the double kill, but it's going to be much more difficult than if you had the full 30 rounds. So, you know, it's a lot more to manage with that. Also, it's not like Battlefield 3 where everybody's working together. Or, I mean, people are still working together, but they're not... Everybody's reviving, you know? In Battlefield 3, you'd be on Operation Metro, everybody would be medics, and you'd hear the revive, whatever, a bad impression of the revive, but the revive sound, the defibrillators going off all the time because everybody had to have it on. Now there's some trade-offs. Now not everybody's doing the constant revives, especially because of the fact that you have to charge it up. You actually miss a lot of the revives because of that. I've noticed that when I'm charging it up, waiting, you know, you wait a couple seconds, oh, okay, they're already dead, or you just miss it by 1 second. But if you just revive them instantly, they only revive with 20% health, whereas before, it gave them the full health. So, you know, there's a whole lot of more difficulty that goes into this game than it has before, and I actually really like that aspect. It would have been nice to get the picking up people's weapons, even maintaining your kit, though. You know what I mean? Because if you switch you switch full kits in this game. You don't just switch weapons. And that's kind of one thing that's bothered me also, but... I do like the gameplay aspect of this, and I love the Destructible environment, man. It is huge. It is on a bigger scale than ever. I play a lot of Domination. That's probably my favorite game type. Because there's not a lot of vehicles in it, if I want to play in vehicles, then I'll go to kind of a conquest game, and I'll actually go into the vehicles. But if I want to play infantry-style warfare, I like playing Domination because of that fact. So, but anyways, like playing on Parcel Storm, which is the map with the islands and the storm and everything, I really like that map. Almost the entire thing. All those buildings completely destructible. You just knock them down. Engineer class, you just shoot an RPG at it, blow the wall out with the guy hiding behind it. The destructible environment is amazing. That's something that, like, Call of Duty, they said, yeah, we're going to have destructible environment, and there's one map that's got, you know, the gas station and 2 billboards that blow up. What? That's not destructible environment. Have you ever played Battlefield? Oh my gosh. But I really like the destructible aspect of that. Also, they changed all the vehicle's controls. I haven't mentioned that in a video yet, so I want to mention that. I know you guys probably already know that, but what the heck, man? I spent so long mastering those controls because it was almost impossible. If you just... It was so funny because I would give my friends sometimes the controller and be like, hey, you want to fly the jet in some Battlefield 3? Yeah, I'll try it out. Take off and crash land. You guys know what I'm talking about. It takes a while to really learn how to actually pilot those things. It is kind of nice that in Battlefield 4 they have a separate mode where you can try out all the vehicles and try out all the stuff, but... You know, it was really fun learning how to do all that, and then I had a huge advantage, and I felt like a boss being able to know how to fly the jet. I did a whole bunch of jet lessons. Now they've changed it so much, it's really weird for me to control it, and I cannot stand, unfortunately, the new camera angles for the jets. If you guys have noticed, which you probably did the first time you played at least, the camera angle stays with the same level as the wings. So if you tilt to the right, your camera will tilt as well. Now in Battlefield 3, when you tilted the jet to the right, I'm talking about in third-person view, the jet would just tilt and your view would always be level with the horizon. And I loved that. I don't know if I just got used to it, but I thought that was such a good system. And the camera angle did change, you know, if you went vertical or certain things like that, but I thought that was so well done. This feels like it's more fake to me. It doesn't feel quite as dramatic, quite as real, and the cockpit looks a little bit different. So helicopter-wise, though, I think that was a great change. And people are probably saying, oh, just change the controls back. I tried that, man. It's not the same, like I was saying, with the camera angle, as well as having the back button now as RB, which I actually really like. But I'm pushing the right bumper, trying to flare, or whatever it was. I just remember it off instinct, but anyways, whatever I was pushing. It's just really different, and I do like the new difficulty to it. But anyways, that's why I play much more infantry-style gameplay. I'm not playing quite as much in the vehicles, but it's also really nice being able to play with squadrons. And this is something that I think that they did really well, was they had something that you actually kind of unlocked. One of my biggest drivers in playing Call of Duty in the first place is the fact that they have some kind of bonus for you. When I first started playing Battlefield 3, my friend was showing me it, and or even going back to Bad Company, they're like, look at you just get, or else I said, how is that guy in a jet right now? You know, how is he in a tank? I thought that they had to actually unlock it by getting kill streaks or something like that. He's like, oh, you just you know, getting it. It's just at your spawn. I was like, why wouldn't everybody be in that all the time? Well, it turns out, as I started playing, they're not completely dominant all the time. There's certain aspects that are good on the ground as well, and it's not always better. Like in Call of Duty, it's not like a chopper gunner, you know what I mean, like a Black Ops 1 chopper gunner where you're just mowing everybody down. No, it's got a balance to it that's a little bit better. So I learned that, but I really like the fact that with the infantry gameplay even, that they have this squadron kind of formation, that by playing as a squadron, by working together, you unlock things. Now, it would be nice to have actual things that you can kind of choose, or maybe get something kind of cool instead of just a perk. But I do like being able to work together in that sense, and then it kind of goes away when your entire squad wipes, you go drop down one. So a lot of interesting incorporations, but that's kind of why I've been playing a lot more Call of Duty. It's easier for me to get into games quickly, and I can stay in the games without everything freezing on me when I am trying to search for a lobby. One annoying thing too is you have to scroll down like 50 million servers to get down to one that's not actually full. Because I said I do use the server browser instead of quick play, because the quick play just puts you in empty lobbies all the time. So anyways, that's my thoughts on it. I would love to hear what you guys think. Are you still playing Battlefield 4? Do you find yourself going back playing Battlefield 3 like myself, more than even Battlefield 4 in some occasions? Especially for me, because I'm doing, you know, my videos and everything. But like I said, excited for Xbox One. I think that's where we're really going to see this bad boy shine, and I'll be doing another video then, so be sure to subscribe if you are new. Like the video if you did enjoy this type of commentary. You can check out my most recent view from the mountain with that previous video, or my most recent YOLO on the battlefield with the recommended. Definitely you'll enjoy that if you haven't checked it out already. That's it for me today though, ladies and gentlemen. This is StoneMountain64 signing out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.